So many people unknowingly have a physical disconnection from their body, really living in the head versus the body. And when you're living in your head versus your body, you listen to, self-sabotage and can't really take the actions that you want to take related to food and movement. So taking new actions or stopping old actions and habits, because the mind and the self-sabotage gets in the way. Listening to mind versus body. When you are living in the head versus the body, you have a hard time feeling and connecting to your body's cues to listen to them, right? And your body's cues are exactly what your body wants, right? Why would your mind know more about what your body needs rather than your body knowing more about what your body needs, right? You might struggle to feel enjoyment in movement. It might just kind of always feel like this chore, this source of discomfort, this just not fun thing, this punishment. You can't access the innate enjoyment in movement that is there within everybody. Right? We have a physical body for a reason. It's not meant to feel like a punishment to move. Animals do not feel punished by moving around, right? There's an innate joy and innate draw to movement, but we can't feel that when we're up here thinking self-deprecating thoughts, thinking about our body image, thinking about what other people are thinking about us, thinking about our to-do list and everything else we have to do. That completely dulls the innate enjoyment in the physical body, in movement. When you're living in your head versus your body, you might take physical actions as far as food and exercise, but there might be a negative influence on your actions that are dulling their effect, because you may have unaddressed, really distorted beliefs around your body or food that are quite literally impacting the physiological processes of your body via epigenetics. We won't get into the science of that right now, but this is the power of the brain-body connection and the power of our beliefs and our thoughts and our expectations upon what's literally happening in our body. Our body evolved to deeply take into consideration our beliefs and thoughts and expectations. Because, quick side note, if we did not perceive a tiger as a threat, then the body would not have set off the series of stress and adrenaline hormones in order to move us into action to protect us. So it specifically evolved to take our perceptions of the tiger as a threat in order to change the physiological processes in our body. So your distorted beliefs about the body and food that are picked up from conditioning and life experiences, upbringing, just the weird, distorted food and body culture we live in might be negatively impacting your body. And that's all coming from here versus when we're physically present here without any of that chatter distorting and negatively impacting this innately intelligent body and the power of that brain-body connection, if we don't get in the way. And if you're living in the head versus the body, this is a big one. You'll be on that constant chase of thinking, if my body changes, then I'll feel good. But you won't even be able to feel good if your body changes, because you still have the same brain, the same mental habits of not knowing how to feel content within yourself, within the present moment, even in the presence of a desire for something to be different within your body. So it's an incessant chase living up here thinking, maybe one day I'll feel good if my body changes. So we have to get out of this headspace and all these self-deprecating thoughts and mind chatter and fear-based chatter, and get into the body and being physically present in order to learn how to re-access the ability, relearn the ability to feel content right now. And living in the head versus the body, right? We're repeating this because it matters so deeply, and it's at the root of all of this, right? All of this is talking about this physical disconnection from the body we have, and all the ways in which it holds us back from the very thing we want, from the way we want to feel within our body and the way we want to relate to our body. So if we're living in the head, if you're living in your head versus your body unknowingly up until this point, these actions we want to take as it relates to the body, right? Eating nourishing foods, moving the body with exercise, it still feels hard to sustain, because coming from a mental place, when we're living up in the head, it's coming from a mental motivation, and it feels like a should, a pressure, a chore, versus a physical felt motivation, an innate physical response to a physical sensation, right? Okay, I'm physically present in my body. I know how to get out of my head, quiet all this self-sabotage, fear, chatter, mundane chatter, all the things. I know how to quiet that. I know how to physically feel my body and be physically present. And so I'm feeling something physical in my body. Oh, I feel tight in my hips because I've been sitting in this chair for a while. I feel something, I feel tight, and therefore I will move. I feel something physical, and then I will take a physical action in response to that. I feel hungry. I feel a physical sensation because I've been in the habit of connecting to my body versus numbing out and being disconnected up here. I feel hungry, and therefore I will take a physical action in response to that physical sensation. This goes in so many ways, and this is where we find our innate desire, our innate motivation, where it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel pressurized, it's not a chore, it's just, oh, I feel that, I'm going to do that. And that feels good, and that leads to me feeling physically better, because we're connected to how we physically feel versus numbing out up here and not even realizing that we've not been eating enough. We've been eating too much for our bodies, cellular needs, all these things. So we feel a sensation, we take a physical response, and that's innate. It feels light. It just feels genuine, enjoyable. And so we can sustain these things. We get off the on and off, diet bandwagon. We get off of finally mistreating our bodies, whether overly restricting or overly consuming, ignoring the body. It's very hard to mistreat the body and sustain it, whether through ignoring or, more in these punitive, punishing ways. It's very hard to do so when we're just so physically connected to it, not up here anymore. So all these things that we've gone through, this is why we do this work, to get you out of your head and into your body. And this meditation series really is the foundational building blocks to be the catalyst for you to move into the direction of healing this physical disconnection to your body, and all the magic that comes from this when you're physically present, and your ability to not have your body feel like this heavy fixation, this chore, or this thing you've convinced yourself, oh, I don't care, I don't need that, to really find this grounded, balanced relationship with, I know how to access feeling good within my body, to feel content in the present moment, to feel at peace with my body, and I can take physical actions towards my body from a genuine, innate place. So I'm so glad you're here. I'm so excited for you to dive in, and I will see you inside.